All right, first of all, just want to thank our fans, everybody showing up tonight. We want to thank our student section. We want to thank our band, all of our alum, everybody tailgating as we came in. Even with the weather, that didn't deter anybody. That was a great environment. Appreciate everybody sticking out with the weather. It was 78 degrees on Tuesday and Wednesday, so everybody understands. It was 90 degrees last Monday, but that's kind of the weather we love here in Minnesota, and we prepared for it all week. I'm really proud of our players and how hard they played in it. Circumstance does not dictate our behavior, but you better prepare for certain circumstances, or it will dictate your behavior. And I thought we did that. Got to give Nebraska a lot of credit. They're a really good football team. They got weapons everywhere. I thought our defense played outstanding, lights out. Offense ran the football, controlled the clock. Probably a little less play action than I really kind of wanted to, but that was by design in terms of how the game was going and how well the defense was playing. But I was proud of how we prepared. You know, we haven't had an 8-game winning streak in 70 years. That's a long time. That's in the 40s, everyone. And I know it's just coach speak. It's Coach Fleck just talking about what we haven't done to make himself or his program look better. But it's true. That's a special group of guys. We're 6-0. We're bowl eligible. That's great. Took us the last game of the season last year against Wisconsin for the Axe to get bowl eligible last year. Now we have half the year left. We're going to be 0-0 tomorrow morning. We're going to look to be 1-0 against Rutgers. The preparation I thought was elite. Tuesday, Wednesday, you know, we appreciate our administration. Besides asking Mark and John for a snow machine, they said yes to everything else. But the preparation was spot on. You know, our players walked on the field. We turned our indoor down to 50 degrees, 55 degrees, coldest it goes down to. We know how hot it goes, and now we know how cold it goes. Players had to take big buckets of water with ice and dump it on themselves when they walked on the field to get that initial shock. And they were already wet and cold and uncomfortable. As many fans as we could find to put in there to get wind blowing. Wide receivers, quarterbacks dunk their hands in terms of ice bins and hold them there to make sure in between plays and then put their gloves back on and go back out. And then we had people running around with pitchers. They have like pitchers of Pepsi or Coke or whatever it is, right? And just lemonade. And they walk around and as the quarterback's getting the play, he's sticking his hand in the pitcher. That was cold for a while. We've had frozen footballs, wet footballs, froze the wet footballs. Did everything we possibly could, and Brady deserves a lot of credit, our head equipment manager. That is a very, very, very difficult week for him, especially to the level that we expect. So Brady needs to be congratulated on that, as well as Mike Sipniak and his trainers, because they go through the whole process of that with us to make sure we're doing all the right things. Really proud of our team's effort. I mean, 332 yards on the ground. I mean, I don't know, close to 700 yards in the last 2 games rushing the football. And, you know, offensive line's coming together. You know, Daniel didn't play. He was injured. So we had 5 guys move Blaze to tackle. Thought he did an outstanding job. Curtis Dunlap Jr., I thought, played his best game he's ever played here. His motor did not stop. He's exhausted right now, and that's the way he should be. He was popping off the ground, continued to push. One of the toughest guys on our football team is John Michael Schmitz, kid from Chicago. And he's just tough, makes us tougher. And then when you look at Connor Olson, I thought he had his best game yet. And then our left tackle, Sam Schluter, does what he does, and the tight ends blocked well as well. Wideouts blocked really well on the outside. Quarterback managed the game really well. Defensively, lights out. You can talk about everybody. Kamal had 15 tackles. Winfield had 10 tackles. Renner had 4 tackles and a sack. Thomas had 9 tackles. We were all over the place. And the way Nebraska scores is you got to give them a lot of credit because they have big play, then they score. They have an explosive play, then they go down to score. And we only gave up 1 touchdown to a really, really high-powered offense that's really talented, no matter who's in the game. And their coaches said it, too. They have really talented players. They think the guys right behind them are just as good. And, you know, we feel really good about finding a way to win that football game. I was really proud of our wideout selflessness. You know, Ty caught 5 balls for 109 yards, but then Chris caught 1 for a touchdown. Paulson caught 1 and dropped 1, and then Rashad had 1 for -4 yards. But we won the game 34-7, and they could care less about their stats. That's what I love about the team. That's a tough football team in there, everybody. It's a mature football team. I don't know what we're going to be. We never know the future. But today, they showed their toughness. We love our weather. We love our fans. We love our university. We love our state. And I think there was a comment made by one of their staff members in terms of, we're not going to really prepare for that. Well, we prepare for this all the time. We love our weather, and we feel like it's our advantage. And you've got to be able to play in it. Joe Novak used to tell us at Northern Illinois, if you want to play in the North Atlantic, you got to train in it. And we did everything we could to train in it while it's 80 degrees outside. We had to find a way to do it. So I know that's a long opening statement. We're really excited. Congratulations to all of our student body for being 6-0, bowl eligible, 1-0 in the championship season against Nebraska. That's a well-coached football team, a very, very high explosive offense, which they've shown. But I thought our team played outstanding tonight. Not perfect, but we played outstanding. Good enough to win that football game. Now we got to change our best. Questions?
Coach said you don't know how good you're going to be, but you said that you're a good team. Do you know how good you are right now, or do you need to play the Penn States and Iowas and Wisconsin to know how good you are?
We're as good as we are right now. That's all I know. I know right now today we're a 34-7 win over Nebraska. Good. That's all I know. We're one of the best teams I've been around. Whatever that means, we got selfless players. We have 85 players above a 3.0. We've got kids that have over 11. We have 1,100 hours plus in community service. Our players are doing tremendous in leadership roles, their spiritual life. Our best players are our hardest workers. What we have to do is becoming what we want to do. So today, up to today, right now, we're a 34-7 win team over Nebraska. That's how good we are. And then tomorrow, we'll put our leather vests on, we'll zip them up, and then we probably won't feel very good after tomorrow because we're going to find ways to get better, change our best.
What did you see from Nebraska on tape that told you you could make some of those runs? You had 8 runs, 10 yards or longer just in the second quarter. What did you see that you could exploit and knew that would work?
Well, it was one of the things you saw that scared you. It's another thing that you game planned it to hope it worked, and it worked. They're really big up front. I mean, they're 330 across the board. They're long, and they're strong, and they've got transfers from everywhere. I mean, they are a good-looking D-line. But we felt if we can get them running sideways and their backers wouldn't fit right, then we could be able to run well. And I felt like we did that. And then our backs broke tackles. Even when they did fit right, our backs broke tackles and made some plays. But, I mean, we didn't throw the ball very often, right? I mean, we only threw the ball 13 times. So it wasn't like we even had to go to the RPO game. We were running the ball so successfully. But that's the whole game plan. And then once they decided to bring the safeties down on the outside or bring the corner cats, we ran our inside zone plays and thought we had success there.
Shannon, Mo, and Rodney all playing at the same time, right? What kind of dynamic did that bring to have all 3 of them in full go?
18 carries for Rodney, 13 carries for Shannon, 15 carries for Muhammad. Perfect. And some will have 18, 13, 50. They could care less. They put all their yards into a bucket. They love each other. I think Rodney and Shannon, we had a talk, an intimate talk to our team last night. I won't share it with you, but I went around to every player for our team meeting at night before I do bed check. And I almost called out every single football player I had and told a story about them. And I asked them if it's worth it. Is it worth the rehab, Shannon? Is it worth saying, I'm not going to quit? Is it worth having the support of a tremendous administration, a tremendous staff that always has your back, and proactive education? Is it worth it that you're here? Is it worth it, Rodney, that you came back with your knee injury? Is it worth it, Ty, that you didn't leave for the NFL and you came back? Is it worth it? I want it to be worth it here. I want you to love it here. I want you to enjoy your experience. Is there times it's going to be hard? Yeah. But I want you to love the University of Minnesota. I want you to love our culture, love our program, love each other. Is it worth it? Has it been worth it up until this point? And went around to every player and told a story about something about them. And it was fun talking about all three of those guys because everybody told Muhammad he wasn't big enough. And I remember telling Muhammad, I'm not big enough. I haven't been big enough or smart enough for anything in my life. We're going to fit just fine. And asking him if it was worth it coming all the way to the East Coast to Minnesota, skipping over a lot of places to be here. Was it worth it? So I hope they all continue to say yes. and I feel like they are. We really enjoy being around each other, and that running back room enjoys being around each other. And that's why they play so well collectively. They don't care who goes in the game. You will never see anybody pout. You never see anybody's head down. Oh, I want the good. They all want the ball. We already know that. You never have to tell us that. We all know you all three want the ball. We get it. But we want to always make sure they can make it all the way through the end of the season. And 18, 15, 13, I love that.
This was a big moment for the team. It seemed like your best players were your seniors, Rodney, Shannon, Renner, Coughlin, Kamal. What does that mean to have that group kind of set the tone for a night like this?
Well, I think it's big for our seniors. They've seen the most here. They've been through the most change. They've been through the most success, and they've been through the most adversity. And you can talk about things on the field and off the field. That senior class has seen a lot. Is it worth it to feel what they felt in that locker room right there being 6-0? Is it worth it up into this point? We have powerful seniors because they never had to stay. And who was it hardest for? Them. It was hardest for Carter Coughlin. It was hardest for Thomas Barber. It was the hardest for Kamal Martin. Antoine Winfield, you can put him in that category. Hardest for Sam Renner, even without a scholarship. It was the hardest for them to stay and believe in it. But more importantly, stay and believe in it, they stayed for each other. And then there's no coincidence, most of them are all roommates, right? And I'm really proud of that group. They led us tonight, the Rodneys, the Shannons. I hope our young players are constantly learning from our older guys, and that's what you want in a developmental program. Your seniors are teaching everybody else how to do it, and this is the first year we're finally there. There's not a lot of them, but this is the first year we have the seniors doing all the right things, setting the right example of how it all is for the young guys as we move forward over the next decade or two.
Coach, you guys had 4 sacks and 5 tackles for loss. What went into maybe your most disruptive defensive effort?
I thought we were providing pressure with 4 at times, which was good. We needed to because they got people all over the field that can make plays. I mean, they all can run. And the quarterback can really run. And we knew they'd probably have more quarterback run designs and design runs than they did. And you got to have people in the box to be able to stop that run. You got to be able to have people stop, their mid-zone and things like that. But for us, I felt like we got pressure on with 4. And then when we did bring a blitz, we came free. We scraped for skin, and we were able to get some sacks in the run game. I thought we got some really good push up front by their front 4. And then our backers made some really nice tackles.
Last question, Daniel.
Sam Renner was disrupted tonight. How much has he improved and contributed to the defense's success?
He's the unsung hero of the defense. He can do multiple jobs. He can play nose guard, 3 technique, 5 technique. He's 278 pounds. All those guys over there are 335, 340. He is 278. But if there's one guy I want with me, walking to a place that maybe I shouldn't be walking at times, I want Sam Renner right next to me. And that's how I feel about him. He's tough. And that's how I feel about everybody on our football team. But Sam Renner sets that example. He's the guy you want with you when there's crisis, when there's chaos. He is one of the toughest football players I've ever been around and one of the smartest. I mean, talking to him is like talking to somebody that invents space shuttles for NASA, right? So remember, I got an 18 on my ACT, so I have to these conversations are very short because the longer they go, the dumber I feel, and so I got to end it quickly. It's like talking to Blaise Andries, right? But he has been the anchor to our defense. He deserves a lot of credit. He's a heck of a person. And you're going to hear Sam Renner's name for a very long time, whether it's the National Football League or he's going to be running companies around here. He's going to be one of the most successful people we have on this football team. Appreciate it. Row the boat. Sky Ma. Go Gophers. Oh, happy Meg. Would you like me to sing? Good choice.